Well, we're just heading through the Spanish countryside now as we head towards the Pyrenees, and we're really excited because we're going to get to see the first real mountain stages where all the riders will start breaking up and the real climbers will be tested, and the sprinters might just have to stick in the middle and try and survive. Francois, the camper van's doing us really well. We're just purring along in 5th gear. Everyone is buzzing. Look at how many people are on the side of the road. It's just berserk. Well, I've got to say, after driving through the first stages of the Pyrenees, these guys are absolutely crazy, and my respect level has gone up to here. At home, when you're watching in Australia, you don't actually realise the gradient of these climbs that these cyclists are going up. They are just impossible to describe. There is nothing like it in Australia. We're nice and relaxed after yesterday's rest day here in Limoges, and today the tour heads to Issoudun. Not as hard as it was through the Pyrenees, a lot more sprints, and a few of the riders are looking forward to it. It is, of course, Bastille Day, French National Day, and there is an air of patriotism from the French. You'd expect a few of the French riders to make sure they're really up the front today and give it a good crack for their own country. We caught up with our own man, Stuart O'Grady, who said he engaged in a bit of French flair this morning when he woke up. Sherry, 14th of July, did you have your mandatory croissant and coffee this morning?
Oh, I definitely had my coffee. But yeah, the French get pretty excited about it today, so just a matter of trying to control those blokes.
Hey, there must be a supermodel in the next bus up there. Just crowded all the time, there was no one here before.
Yeah, her name's Lance.
Good legs too, I hear.
Yeah, don't tell him I said that, please.
Well, we're off to go and have our croissant and coffee now to celebrate Bastille Day, and there'll be baguettes and cheese and wine to come. Off to Issoudun for the finish of today's stage. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Marshall-McCormack for Yahoo 7. The Tour de France stopped for obvious reasons during the Second World War, and being in the camper van gives us a chance to stop by some of the memorials of the Second World War around France and pay our respects. Behind me is Oradour-sur-Glane, a village that was massacred by the Nazis back in 1944. On June 10, SS troops set fire to this farming village, killing 642 people, including 193 children. The town has been left as it was since that horrible day to serve as a reminder against future acts of brutality. The heat has melted and twisted metal and caused buildings to collapse into rubble. There's an eerie feeling as you walk through the streets, seeing the signs of what the old buildings were: the dentist, cafes, bakeries, mechanics and schools. The tram tracks and their overhead wires are still intact. French historians have called it the Village of Martyrs, in honour of their fight for the cause. Well, that was really confronting to think that one day there was a village standing there and the next day it was completely decimated. It's added to my understanding of the history of this country, and I hope to learn more about it during the following of the Tour de France. Well, bonjour guys, today we're going to show you what it's like as a town gets ready to host the start of a stage in the Tour de France. We're in Tonnerre today before the cyclists head to Vittel, and there's a real buzz around the town as people consume all the food, the wine, the coffee, the croissants, the baguettes. There's a real party atmosphere. Let's go check it out. There's a big emphasis on freebies and fun, with lots of handouts and rides for the kids to enjoy. The village is set up just like a market so the locals can show off their produce with tastings. The local industry also puts on a show. It's a very proud day for everyone because hosting the Tour de France is a big deal.
Oh, it's a massive event, yeah, it's true. Even like as a French, person, every year we're always waiting for that. I mean, it's something, especially when you like bicycle like me, it's a huge thing, yeah.
The local children have been preparing for this big day, making bikes with paper mache and crepe paper, which are hung on shops. Fresh baguettes and a nice cold beer are in order around midday as the countdown to the race begins.
Merci.
The start is a proud celebration of all the hard work Tonnerre has done to make this day a success. Well, I'm off to enjoy some of the local French produce myself, and more importantly, some of their beer. Well, the raincoat's on for the first time of this trip. I can't believe it. It was sunny for the whole tour so far. We've got a feel for the cyclists. They've been riding 200 kilometres today to Colmar through the cold, drenching rain. We've pulled up here in the media car park and you can see all the trucks and outside broadcast wagons. There are so many of them, and this is where they actually sit when they broadcast the race. We've actually got to stay here tonight because there are no spots in any of the campsites anywhere. So here's Francois, our Yahoo 7 camper van. Come and have a look at it. We haven't shown anyone inside as yet. Big side door entry. The Australian flags all over it. Here we go, we've got the Australian flags all decked out just to let people know who we are. The cheese, crackers, saucisson, red wine to relax after a long day in the car, and on the side cheering on the Aussies. It's pretty gourmet in here. We've got, you know, the fridge that runs on gas and electricity, gas hot plate, the water. You've got all the cupboards for filling up all your food and pans and everything like that. And here's the double bed. My legs usually hang over the side, but what can you do? It's still a bit of luxury. There's a lot of people around tonight, a lot of journalists I know that are double booked into hotels and they're going berserk. So at least we're relaxed and we've got somewhere to sleep. And here's our bathroom inside. It's pretty good condition. We've got a shower, good sink, the toilet. You empty it every couple of days. And that's it, Francois the camper van. I hope you enjoyed the tour inside. We're going to have a good sleep tonight and a bit of red wine. Bonjour, we're here in Bessassan, the city made famous for its great citadel designed for Louis XIV, the Sun King. And the city is also famous for its clock and watchmaking skills, which is good because we're keeping an eye on the time right now as the cyclists make their way towards this final hill. It's great today because I get to be a superhero, a childhood dream for so long. I'm wearing my Australian cape, check it out. Pretty snazzy, I know. I don't know if it'll have much effect as the cyclists come up the hill, but I'm going to give it my best shot. We're here high in the Alps in Verbier in Switzerland, and I found the #1 man in cycling, synonymous with Australian cycling, Phil Liggett. Phil, thanks for joining us in Yahoo 7, mate.
It's nice to be with you.
Let me know, Australians on the Tour de France, has it just increased? Is it phenomenal now? Because to us it just looks unbelievable on the side of the road.
You see as many Australian flags out on the highway now as you see French flags or Spanish flags, Norwegian flags. It's become truly international now. I mean, in the days of Phil Anderson, poor old Phil rode almost anonymously around the Tour. He was a brilliant Tour de France rider. He rode 14 tours, he finished every one. But you know that with the likes of Robbie McEwen, with his feats, it's brought the Aussies out. And of course now Cadell Evans, who's looking to try and win the Tour again after 2 second places. No, the Aussies are here for keeps now, we can't get rid of them.
What about you? Can we get rid of you? I mean, the day...
I'd love to.
The day when the Tour is without Phil Liggett, can you ever see yourself sitting back and driving a camper van around and just cheering on with a bouncing kangaroo or something like that?
My wife will tell you no. I need to be here I get the inspiration from the race. I'm still a real enthusiast. I love being at the Tour de France. I've done 37 of them now. I think the day I retire, I probably won't come back because I won't be part of the family. I won't want to look from the other side of the road at the guys I used to work with. I love the adrenaline and the kick, and I love it when guys work hard and win stages. Now, when I leave the Tour, I leave the business.
All right, quick for the punters back home. Phil Liggett's tip, 1 week out. What is it?
Well, I'm still sticking to my original selection, which is before we started in Monaco. I think Alberto Contador will win, Armstrong will be second, Andy Schleck will be third. But the way Armstrong's talking, it might be Armstrong winning, Andy Schleck will be third, and Contador will be second.
He can talk it up, can't he?
He can. It's going well. I mean, he's really going well. Watch him.
Phil Liggett, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
There you go, guys. Little scoop inside tour. The man who owns cycling, Phil Liggett.
Go, Cadell! Go!